Now look at how much room we have here. This might be a problem. Yeah, look at that. Look. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Dan's Grand Valley Railroad. Just coming to you this week after the big locomotive figure 8 race. You remember we had some pretty exciting spills and chills there right at the cross track. But as you can see, I've got it all cleaned up now. Everything is back to normal on the layout. And I don't really have any locomotives or any trains on the main line right now. I had cleared everything off to make room for that whole episode. So I've got the GP38s are in the locomotive shed there. I've got the switcher out front. I've taken away the Santa Fe Bachmann locomotives, and I've got a few box cars. Of course, the UP cabooses sitting there. Those are the lighted cabooses. And I've got, let's see, I've got the Southern boxcar sitting over here. So mostly, most of my rolling stock and everything is off the layout. So with that being said, I want to set up a rather long train. And I'm going to require, because I'm going to do a long train, I'm going to require it to be a consist. So I'm going to go through the relatively easy process of putting a consist together with the NCE Power Cab. And the only thing we want to be careful of, and some guys do it for fun, but we want to be sure that the length of the train isn't so long that it would hit itself at the cross track. That's the only thing. And that would be quite a few cars to do that with, but that's the only thing you have to watch out for. I really don't want one that's any longer than that, so I'll start bringing my my rolling stock over here, and we'll start setting it up, and then I'll go through the process of how you set up a consist with the Power Cab. Over here on the bench, I just wanted to show you guys I'm doing a little bit of a an upgrade restoration to one of my old Tyco cars from back in the day. It had the trucks with the attached coupling on it, and that's not really good for the modern trains. It causes problems. So a long time ago, I made a false bottom for this, and I glued in some gray talus for a good rock load on there. Eventually, someday I'm going to weather this, but what I'm doing right now, I took a couple of draft boxes that I had from the KD couplers that come with them, and I glued them right on the front there of the car. And you can see I've got a broken step here. Unfortunately, the other three are there. But this one's already done. I've got the coupling on there. And then what I did was on the truck where it's connected, I just took my sprue cutter and cut that off. So here you can see it's cut off. So these are a little funky in that it's a plastic little push-in stem that goes in there. You push it down and it connects, and there you have it. But this is going to be better. I've got metal wheels in here. It's going to be better without that attached coupler draft box, having the draft box connected to the car itself. So I'm going to do that, finish that up, and then it's missing a hand wheel, which I have some. If you remember back a long time ago, I bought those for the blue Canadian boxcar that was missing that when I restored that. So let me finish this up and we'll run it with the consist we're going to make today. Okay, I've got both couplings on there with whisker couplers. You can see I added a brake wheel there, and we're good to go. We'll see how it's going to track. This way, this will give us a little bit more of a mixed freight train rather than all boxcars. There's my CP rail that I did quite a few months ago. Weathered it, put a new brake wheel on it. Oops. And it still has the connected Tyco style coupling. It doesn't have quite as nice of a place to glue a draft box on there. I'll have to maybe cut that down a little bit. It might work though. I just hadn't got to that yet, but it tracks okay. Sometimes it causes some issues, but we'll see. I know that this side, the coupler, yeah, it's okay. We'll see. We'll see how it tracks, but that'll probably be a next little upgrade. All right, back over here on the layout. As you can see, I've got quite a few boxcars. I've got the hopper car we just worked on, and a couple of the coal hoppers. And I'm gonna go ahead and just start getting my train lined up. So what I normally do here on the Grand Valley is I work with this derailleur, which I have right in front of the station here. So that's a great place to start. So let's go with, this has a nice flashing rear light on it, interior light. That's my favorite caboose with the red top. Nothing wrong with the other one. Reason I like this one, I went with the really small LED light. Looks really good. The other one, I went with the larger one, the 3mm, and it looks fine too, but it's a little large. So I like the that one, the red roof one. So we'll start with that. And since I've already got a 60-foot boxcar on here, let's go with that. And then I did bring out my AccuRail 40-foot boxcar that I had over there at the industry because I want to run it. So since we're talking about it, let's put that in there. And then let's put a couple of the Union Pacific reefer cars, the yellow ones. I weathered those. And there we go. So I've got these connected here, and what happened here, my caboose came off. I think I didn't have the track switched down there properly, so they had a little bit of an issue right off, but I'd rather that happen now. All right, let's do one of the coal hoppers, CSX coal hopper, and we'll put those together. They would be probably delivered close to each other. Now let's do the Southern boxcar that I got from the Flying Crow Railroad. That's Robert. And I've got two of these Maryland boxcars. One of them's weathered, one is not. Those are Bachmann cars. They came with the Digital Commander set, and then I bought one by itself. So let's see. I still have a couple reefer cars here. These nice refrigerated cars that are all weathered up real nicely. Let's run those. This one has a really cool rust streak right there running down. That's pretty cool. So I've got 3 cars left. I'm not sure if that's going to be too many for the loop or not, but let me go ahead and try it, and then just to be sure, I don't want to put too many cars on here. All right, so I just connected one locomotive and just ran them backwards over here. And as you can see, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars, and there's plenty of room where it'll clear itself. I still have Well, I have these three guys, and the 40-foot AccuRail I had to take off because it got caught up at the cross track. This piece of the coupler is, I can tell, it's too low. It needs to be bent up out of the way. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll try to run it again. So let me do that. We'll add a few more cars, and then we should be good to go and set up the consist. Okay, I brought it back around here, so I'm just going to uncouple here and go ahead and move that guy forward. He's gonna be, 307 is gonna be our lead loco. Now you may be asking yourself, well, Dan, why aren't you just gonna run the train with one locomotive? And the reason is because with this many cars and the Grand Valley layout, one locomotive would not be able to handle that grade up there. And then with the turns, those count as a grade as well. It's just too much for one locomotive, but I found running a consist, it's usually fine. So that's why we're gonna run a consist with this many cars. So here's the AccuRail. You can see I bent up that little part on the coupler. So we'll put that back on. That's gonna be the only 40-foot boxcar in the whole thing. And we're gonna put this one up there, and this one may cause some trouble along the way. It's been known to, let's just say that. Let's move that out of the way a little bit, and we'll go ahead and get this guy on here. I don't know if this one's gonna track either. What we'll do is, as we go, we'll start dropping cars that aren't gonna play. So let me back this one up, and we will make sure that couples there. Okay. I can see that those couplers on that gondola that we just fixed are a little bit high. I may need to use the kind that dip down a little bit with the step down, but we'll see if it'll track. So, all right, right here, we'll stop here, and I'll go get the other locomotive, and we'll set up our consist. Just moving 307 up the line a little bit here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and flip this switch, and that should be enough there, and we should be good there. So let's call up number 315. Get him out onto the main line, and then we'll have 315 running backwards. Now we'll bring up number 307. I don't know if those coupled or not. Let's see. Nope, they just missed. We want to be sure we are coupled good. So there we go. All right. Now we will set up the consist so we can run them both at the same time. Okay, so we're all set up. We've got the train ready to go. We're going to create the consist with the NCE Power Cab. So I'll show you how easy it is. Right here near the bottom, it says consist. So we're gonna say set up, and then it's gonna say up there, enter equals advanced or 1 equals old. So we're gonna hit enter to create an advanced consist. So I hit enter, and now it's gonna ask for an address. It defaults to 127, and that's fine. So we'll do 127 just by hitting enter. And then it's gonna ask for the lead loco. So we're gonna put in number 307 and hit enter. And it's gonna ask the direction, and it's already defaulted to F for forward, so that's fine. So we're gonna hit enter again. Now it's asking for the rear loco. So we're gonna put in number 315. And it's asking for the direction of the loco. Now this is just a little bit tricky. There's not an arrow up or down to change it from F to R. So we want it to say R. You hit the direction button and it'll change it to R. So we hit enter, and that's it. We don't have an additional loco. It's asking if there's an additional one, and we say we don't have one. So I'm just gonna hit enter, and now we're set to go. We've got our consist all set up with 307 being the lead going forward, 315 the rear going reverse. So if I go ahead and hit enter, it remembered we're in reverse, so I'm just going to hit forward. So we go forward, and we should be good to roll. I'm just going to give it some gas, let it take off kind of slowly there, and that should have no problem handling that grade with the 2 locomotives. So now it's just a matter of, we're going to have any problems with any of these cars. Now I'm going to stop it for just a second here, because what I didn't show you is I was already having some trouble with the couplings on here. So I went ahead and put the kind that drop down from the shaft. So they're a little bit lower. I'm not sure how this is gonna track. This is the first time. So let's, I didn't want to have it up near the front where it's got a lot of cars pulling on it. So we're gonna have it near the end, but let's go ahead and rail it. And that's a good match there. They're at a good level. And this boxcar's off the rails here. So let's go ahead and just run it forward a little bit, get it back on. It's the rear. There we go. I'm gonna stop that a second and just make sure. I don't want that causing issues. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get it going. Gonna enter in, just pull it up slowly. 2, 3. I'm thinking 4 is probably pretty good for right now, but there she goes. And we don't want it to be going too fast, but that's a nice long train. Remember, on smaller layouts, especially smaller layouts, the slower you run your trains, the bigger the layout looks. So if you have company coming and you want to show off your layout, run your trains nice and slowly. Because, you know, if it takes it a while to get around and go through the tunnels and stuff, it just looks so realistic. Yeah, just that's a little tip that I picked up. Just run your trains slowly and let people enjoy your layout. There, we got a problem over there. There's that southern boxcar again. So as it comes around now look at how much room we have here. This might be a problem. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. So I am going to have to lose a car anyway. So I'm thinking that southern boxcar might be the one to lose. Let me get that taken care of, and then we'll continue running. All right, I've got the southern boxcar off of there. I don't know if we're going to have trouble with any of these other ones. Now, as you notice, I've got the the light on for 315, which is the following locomotive. You can go to your controller and you can actually recall, that's consist, but I can call up loco 315 and I can turn the headlight off. So now it'll only be the lead loco with the headlight on. So there goes our Virginian hopper car. It's doing pretty good. But here, as we come out, now you can see 315 has the light off. 307 is the only one with the headlight on. So that's pretty cool. So what do we have here? 1, 2, 3. It's a 40-footer. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cars with the caboose and 2 locomotives, and it's taking that grade just fine. Looking good. Climbing up there. Look at all those cars. That looks so cool. Look at that. Got a lot of box cars, but with the coal cars there, it looks pretty realistic. That's pretty neat. So it's that easy to set up a consist. And the NCE Power Cab is pretty good. There's a couple of things that aren't that great about it, like you can only have 3 locos total in recall, which I explained last week when I did the figure 8 races. But you know, for I think what I paid for it, which I don't remember, that got me into the world. Well, actually, it got me into the advanced world of DCC. I needed it to be able to do all the functions of the locomotives and stuff. The older Bachmann digital controller didn't have the capability to go beyond 10 functions. So this, of course, has 30 or whatever it is. So that's why I went into this, so I could get all the sounds and everything out of the locomotives. So, well, I'm surprised this thing is tracking pretty well for just coming off the bench. Doing all right. I don't know if I should say anything, but it'll be the one to derail next. Here it comes. Look at this. That's a lot of cars. But that's what's fun about being able to run consists, and you know, you can have 3 locomotives on here. I think you can have more. I should have looked up in the instructions how many you can run. Of course, it would be probably contingent upon how many amps you have, you know, for the power on your layout. I have done nothing to this. I don't have a booster or anything. This is just the stock NCE Power Cab setup. I believe it's 5 amps, but I'm not sure. But someday thinking about updating that, getting a booster on there. But for right now, it's doing great. All right, folks. Well, that's about all the time I have for this week. Really appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed the figure 8 locomotive races as much as I did. That was really fun. And believe me, Nothing was damaged, and I was real careful with everything, so there was no damage, but it was a lot of fun. And I hope this video was fun for you guys, and I sure enjoy making them. Thank you to all you new subscribers. We're really building the channel. Tell your friends. You know, this channel is all about smaller layouts and all the things you can do with a smaller layout. Don't have to have, you know, a whole room in your house or a big shed or a garage, you know, full of trains. You can do something pretty fun with just a 4x8, maybe a little bit more like I have here. So tell your friends, like and subscribe, and let's keep building the channel. Thank you guys. We'll see you next video. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.